Okay, hello and welcome back to video number 2 on my channel. I have thought of a whole nother idea for this video because I really liked the type of first video I did, but I wanted a more tangible, more concrete idea for this one. So I'm going to focus on one idea. It's going to be a lot shorter, it's going to be a lot more practical. Today's concept I want to focus on is maturity. And I want to give the word a concrete meaning because oftentimes it's used roughly. Many times people have accused me of being immature, and I found myself often just asking myself, what does that even mean? Because maturity isn't a clearly defined term. I didn't ever look into a dictionary and I was like, that is the number one idea of what maturity means, and I was happy. So I thought about it. I even asked ChatGPT for its definition, and I thought of 3 tangible ideas you can use to improve how mature you are in a very objective and easy to grasp way. So, ChatGPT's definition of maturity is a state of being fully developed in terms of physical, emotional, and intellectual growth. It also gives demonstrating responsibility, sound judgment, and self awareness. I really like the emphasis on self-awareness towards the end of the statement or the definition. I think self-awareness ties really greatly into all the 3 other points I'm going to give you later on, because all 3 of them need a lot of self-awareness, and all 3 of them are improved by simply being more self-aware. The tasks, you can call it tasks, I will give you are really tied into a good self-awareness. So let's just jump right into the 3 ideas. The first idea I found is find find your own values and pursue them. It's not enough to just copycat what you see on the internet. You can't just take someone else's values and accept them. In order to be more mature, you gotta find out who you even are. Tied to a person are always values and ideas for life. So a concrete way of how you can find your own values would be to sit down with yourself and simply think about who you are. I would say go outside, take a walk without music, which is a pretty great way of thinking of yourself. But also there are a lot of distractions, and oftentimes that's still not enough because your brain will find something else to think about, something else to be distracted by. Many people would also give you meditation, but meditation is a practice of letting go your thoughts, and what I'm telling you is you want to really deep dive into your thoughts. So sit with yourself, think about who you are, think about what is right for you, what is wrong for you. I mean, moral wise, you want to think about what is morally right for you and morally wrong for you. What actions do you think are good? What actions do you think are bad? Maybe even think about a vision. Think about where you want to be later in life, what kind of person you want to be, and then decide on some concrete actions that align with those ideas and decide what you want to do. Make a kind of a plan, but it should be a rough plan. You don't want a concrete step-by-step plan. You want some ideas of actions that align with the person you want to be. Oftentimes, those things are going to be really hard. Don't shy away just because things are hard. Embrace that struggle, embrace the things being hard, and still write them down, still do those actions. Also, oftentimes, a lot of those effects will only come in the long term. A lot of the things won't have an immediate impact, an immediate good thing for you, but over long times, they will have a really big impact. An impact many times bigger than any action in the present right now could give you. So yes, go for hard things, go for long-term impacts, but choose actions that align with your values. Just a couple of examples for the end. If you want to be a good friend, listen to what your friends tell you. Spend more time paying attention, being in the moment, even just simply spend more time with your friends. Or find friends that are better aligned with the person you are, so you can be a good friend. Not everyone's a good fit, but oftentimes there's a lot of things you could do that would greatly make you a better friend. If you want to be a disciplined person, start small and find small actions to increase your willpower, like standing up on time, drinking more water and less cola, going outside, taking a walk, taking a jog every second or third day. That's going a really long way, and it's really important to just find out, that's what I mean with the vision. The vision is being a disciplined person. That's a long-term pursuit, but you have some actions, some increasingly bigger and difficult actions you can take right now. Point number 2 on my list: care for other people. We humans are simply social creatures, and that doesn't even mean if you're extroverted. Introverts and extroverts are simply a measure of your energy management when you are with other people. Introverts and extroverts still both need social contact. Maybe you could argue extroverts need more of it, introverts don't need far too much of it, but in the end we all thrive in the interaction with other people, and we all become alone and sad if we are only alone all the time. If we take a conscious effort in making friends and being open to other people, we will have a way better chance of maturing, because there's going to be a lot of expressions with other people. You're going to have conflicts. You're going to get chances and do things and experience stuff. And experience is a gateway to being more mature. Another real big point in dealing with other people is taking on responsibility. If you take on responsibility over a child, maybe you babysit in a family, maybe you have a little sibling that you have never really paid attention to, but you can take responsibility of doing a part in raising them, showing them good values. We just talked about values, and making them a better person. Taking on responsibility, caring for other people makes you less selfish and gives you pride and makes it more important for you to become disciplined. So it's a fast track to becoming more mature. Also, don't fall into a typical trap. There's a real typical trap that you find stereotypes to describe the people you see, and you're like, that kind of person I don't want to deal with anyways, so let me just not talk to them. Or you judge a book by its cover. That's the basically same thing. You don't want to fall into this trap, because every person is unique. Even if they seem to be a certain type of person, you never know until you talk to them. And it's foolish of you to think that just by looking at someone you can instantly judge the integrity of their character and that it's not worth your time. That thought in itself is just dumb. You don't ever want to think that someone's not worth your time. The last point, and probably the most important point in my sense, is the world owes you nothing. You are an absolutely small pigment in the universe. If you just look at your city, you're just one of thousands. If you look at your country, you're one of millions. And if you look at the whole world, you're just one of a couple of billion people. In terms of the big picture, you are simply nothing. So nothing you do is really all too important, but also there's just so many of us that the world and the people around us simply owe us nothing. It's simply a fact that you have to work for what you want. And many people fall into whining, many people fall into complaining about the unfairness of the world, the unfairness of the situation they have been put in. And oftentimes they stop working on themselves because they think it's simply unfair, they simply have no chance, and they are simply in a worse position than many other people. But as I said, the world owes you nothing. Other people owe you nothing. The only people that ever owed you something was your family that had to take care of you when you was a child. Even now that you're an adult or growing to be one, you'll realize very fast that even your family doesn't owe you anything. They're not going to give you your dream house. They're not going to give you a car. Maybe they're going to give you a car, but that's the most you will get. You will have an allowance for a couple of years, which makes you not so independent. But after that, your family owes you shit. You gotta really dig into the life that you want. You gotta choose what kind of person you want to be. Our point 1. what people you want to be around, our point two, and also the goals you have in life, what you want to work at, what you want to achieve, maybe the materialistic things you want to own later on. But it's your totally own responsibility to get all of those, and you can't expect anyone to give them to you or the world to just give it to you. The more you want, the more work you gotta put in. Whining and complaining is never the right option because it doesn't get you anywhere and it destroys your energy. And if you start taking control of what you want and what you need, telling people what you want and what you need so they can actually help you, that's a great way of actually getting support from others. And even just understanding yourself what you want and need and then going for it, getting it, you're gonna become a lot more mature and change for the better. I'm on this journey myself still. I am totally not as mature as I would like to be, but I'm also 20 years old, and I think just being aware of these things, tying back to the definition in the self-awareness part, is a really big step into the right direction. And I think by just thinking of these things and being aware of them, even writing things and telling them to other people, I'm getting really much further ahead in the way of maturity. And I think there's tons of more points to find, but many of them are rooted in those three core ideas and issues. And I think by just taking some steps, you will really benefit. So I hope very much that you enjoyed this video. I hope very much that I could help you with something, maybe give you just one or two new insights that you haven't thought of before. And I wish you a nice day. Bye bye.